It's going.
Yeah, try it.
Hopefully, there we go, and we
there,
are
it's
live.
It's live.
Let's stabilize. Okay.
We're stable. All right, welcome everybody. Y'all don't know me. Maybe you do, maybe you don't. I'm Tania Joy, host of the Tania Joy Show, Beauty for Ashes. And I finally get to meet the famous Ivan Raiklin. Heard so much about
him. Oh, wow, you pronounced it right.
Did I?
Yes.
I got it. I've heard a lot about you. And
only bad things, I hope?
Only bad.
Good,
Sorry,
good.
I hope that's all right. Only bad. Okay, so give us an update. What the heck is going on? And here's my question. Do we even stand a chance of ever having an election again? Because I would say no.
I think the right question is, do they have a chance to survive the corruption that they've been covering up?
Oh, I like that better.
Few years?
Okay.
And I say that they don't.
Okay.
Why? Because we have created a network of patriots through the Reawaken Tour and other events throughout the country that is totally separate from the two-party system, that is going to supplant the two-party system and essentially remove the China First Democrats and the China First Republicans from all seats of government power, and we're going to supplant and take over.
How quickly do you think that's going to happen?
The more people participate in the process with me, the faster.
Do you
the
think
less
we can
people
fix
that do
this
it,
before?
It'll slow me down, dragging you across the
Okay,
country.
so how can people, well then that's important. How can people support you? How can people do that? For those of you that don't know anything with me, you can go to TaniaJoy.tv. We're constantly exposing what's going on with election fraud, with Hollywood, with the deep state, with this transgender religion, the whole thing. But specifically with the elections,
our
as
program,
we're
we pronounce that mental and bodily mutilation.
That's exactly what it is. I have a daughter who's pulled into it. That's why I talk about it. I didn't expect to get into that. I shared my story as I was talking about Hollywood and how they're pushing this narrative. I shared, I'm dealing with this. This is personal. The HuffPost just wrote a 25-page hit piece against me a month ago. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous.
Okay, and if the compost, the Huffington compost, the Huff compost did a story on it, so then you're doing something right.
Well, that's what
I'm going to say this.
But how do we do this? Because we're only a year away, a year and a half from this election.
But it's a daily grind. It's not an annual or biannual or quadrennial sort of process to correct our country.
But what can we do now?
The very simplest thing that you can do now is bankrupt private institutions that are a part of the system that's destroying our country.
So everything.
So,
first
and foremost, to your audience, I'm sure, is that you have to participate in bankrupting faux news. Meaning, some lemmings pronounce it Fox News. Okay? It's actually pronounced faux news.
Yep.
Completely.
Yep.
Because the guy that sits on the board, Paul Ryan, and his buddy Rupert Murdoch, they were part of the J6 insurrection too, because Paul Ryan's sergeant at arms, Paul Irving, later became Pelosi's sergeant at arms that was in on it. So when you start to identify and see what happened during January 6th and Paul Ryan's phone calls and text messages to Mark Short, Mike Pence's chief of staff, and his conversations with Mike Pence himself, you're going to see, along with other people that have seen this, in the phone calls and in the text messages, that they were actively a part of the removal of Trump through an unlawful coup d'etat, parliamentary coup. And so one of the organizations that needs to be bankrupted for that is faux news.
I like how you pronounce that.
That's an easy one.
That's very easy.
To shut it down.
We got rid of, ultimately CNN's already gone through that. They're not fully shut down, but they're hurting.
So the primary for the Republican Party is essentially conducted. There's 4 private companies that run the electoral system in preparation to allocate the delegates for the RNC convention. So that's the first phase, and the second phase is obviously general. So in order to make it free and fair for the primary, so that the outcome is commensurate with the people's will, you have to remove and bankrupt the companies that are in the middle of the vote and the outcome.
Starting with
RNC, Faux news.
Rona McDaniel, Ronna, whatever you want to say.
Faux
Gotta
news
get rid of her.
basically does what? It amplifies and tries to convince you of the legitimacy of their selection, right? And then the two companies that have control over 34 states' elections, deviant voting systems and LHS. The morons pronounce it Dominion voting system.
Yeah. What do you?
That's
Okay,
simple.
so I'm curious about this. Yeah, I'm curious about this because I live in the last conservative Collard County of Chicago. But our county clerk, who I had on my show multiple times and challenged him to do an audit, to do a full audit, and I said, and look, you can either be a hero if it shows fraud, or you could actually be a hero because nothing's there. Either way, it's a win-win if you do it right. Really, truly.
Yeah.
He wouldn't do it.
Why?
Because
there's
nothing there. That's crazy. There's nothing wrong with the machines.
Next time, name one publicly traded company that does not do an annual audit. Name one.
But what do we do? Like, because we've got the machines in our county, we can go in there, we can say, look, I see them online. We can say all those things, they do nothing. So what can the people do on the ground floor to make sure we get rid of this?
I don't know exactly Illinois law and statute on this, but if there's a mechanism in place that we can essentially convince that county to go to
original ballots.
In person, voter ID.
One day, that's huge because we don't do that shit. Yeah. They're all lots of mail-in,
I'd start with this and say, what are the downsides of going to in-person paper ballot hand count, one day, voter ID? Give me some good reasons. And as they stumble through that and try to think of a good reason, then you switch it and say, well, then why not go to that system so that confidence in the elections goes through the roof?
Right. Because we need to do that. I love that. So what else can people do then? Because I'm one who goes, we can't just forget what happened. And so many patriots are doing that. So many patriots. I'm saying patriot, conservative named patriots. They've just moved on. We just got to focus on the next. Yes, we have to fix. We can't forget what has happened because it's a problem and it hasn't been fixed yet. So bankrupt the companies. How do we bankrupt Dominion? How do we do that? Just keep getting all the counties to say you can't hire them, Like, is there another way we can do that?
Perfect question. My answer to that is exactly what Tucker and Trump did 2 days ago. And we escalated.
Love it. Okay.
So this is how we do it. I don't know, there's 4 more debates going on that the RNC and Faux News is hosting. The way we bankrupt them and at the same time educate the nation of what needs to happen so that the 250 million viewers, there was a missed opportunity. Had they actually did my exact plan for Wednesday, it would have been much more impactful than what was done with. Don't get me wrong, it was good, but the more impactful approach is during the next 4 debates that the RNC is doing with the Keebler-Elf Z-list debate.
Yeah.
There need to be super hosts that hosts a real A-list debate between RFK Jr. And Donald Trump, and during those it'll be topical. It'll be something to do along the lines of, and I put this out on my X and Truth and other platforms. Essentially, you have either a Mike Lindell, General Flynn, Alex Jones host that discussion, and the topic is the illegally conducted election of 2020.
Yeah.
Explaining all of it
and
their thoughts behind it, and what can be done to remedy the next election. And then we direct them to, here's the website you go to find your legislator. Imagine if 250 million Americans now are equipped and knowledgeable to say, you know what? Now that I know that the same people that defrauded the FISA court to spy on Trump were the same ones that basically convinced the country into accepting the emergency use authorized products that mutilated your DNA,
Yeah.
that created myocarditis, that made your heart explode or your friend or loved one, that killed them off, are the same FBI officials that were spying on Trump. The Brian Otten, the Joe Pienko,
Yeah.
the Elvis Chan, the Jim Baker, and the Bill Priestaps of the world. Look them up. Were the same ones involved in manipulating and coercing the whole censorship industrial complex. So why not discuss that, expose it, say, you know what, your TDS should not rise to the level of those individuals that actually murdered your family and friends. You should be more angry at them. And for that reason, you should support all of us going to one day in-person paper ballot and count. And the way you do that is you contact your state legislature, this individual, state house, state senate, multiply that by 300 million people.
Yeah.
I think they're going to start to sizzle
I agree.
in that direction. Then we have another person such as Steve Bannon or somebody of that ilk hosting yet another debate where they talk, or not debate, but a fireside chat while the Z-list debate's going on. And they talk about the Chinese Communist Party to take over America, and then explaining how we push back against that with a solution. Multiply that by 300 million viewers, right? Now we take that to the next level where Joe Rogan hosts an interview between RFK and Trump. And I don't know, what topic should we talk about? Maybe horse dewormer and Nuremberg 2.0?
Yeah.
And how we're going to get to that and achieve that so that there's maximum consequence to those FBI officials that are part of America's #1 domestic terrorist organization, known as the FBI, and their surrogates over at the DHS, right?
I love these.
And then
I love these ideas.
the failureship of the Department of Defense that promulgated the unlawful, what they call vaccine mandate.
Yeah.
And then we create consequences. Then America is like, oh, wait,
And
you've been lied to. And then what happens last? Well, there's only 5 debates going on. Hosted by who would garner 1 billion views as a host?
I mean, there's a handful. I would think Tucker would be one of the best.
No, because he only did about 300.
He did.
But I guess he could hit 1 billion.
I thought he did.
I argue that if
Who would you say?
I would say Elon Musk could host a discussion
That would be
live on Truth, on Rumble, and X. And guess what the topic would be?
What?
Why doesn't he release all Elon? Why doesn't Elon release all the direct messages of the 60 that provided top cover for the Biden criminal syndicate and the 39 that unmasked General Flynn?
Yeah.
And what about all involved in impeachment hoax 1 and 2? What about all the people that the FBI that were involved in the Mueller investigation? Eric Ciaramella, his 2 attorneys. What if we released all of their direct messages from Twitter, put that together, shared it with me as I connected everything and said, hey, that insurrection that you didn't believe in, let's pull Nancy Pelosi's direct messages.
Right.
With Paul Ryan's direct messages.
Yes.
And Rupert Murdoch's. And all of the other individuals that are suspect that I've identified in my Substack series, and we pull all their direct messages, and then Elon says, Ivan was right.
Do you think
now let's discuss those in our little discussion. RFK and Trump.
Do you think Elon would do it, though? Or do you think he's being used by the deep state?
Wrong question.
Okay.
You're going to help me guarantee that happens. And that'll be in December. What's going on?
That's brilliant.
That's your question. Right?
Yes.
You're going to guarantee that that's going to happen.
By putting pressure.
Yeah.
By all the millions.
Because you're going to send this discussion to the biggest key influencers that you know.
Yeah.
That
because this is what we have to get to the bottom
possibly
of.
Get to
I mean, how hard would that be? That takes a snap of a finger.
How much marketing does that require? It requires one tweet
people sending their stuff. Yeah.
It requires one
nothing. That's so easy.
truth by Trump And one tweet by RFK Jr.
Yeah. That's it.
1 billion views.
Yeah.
Exposure.
That's
and then the whole country wakes up
instant
in time for the January primaries.
So we've got, what is this? This is August. We're in August. We got something for every month. September, October, November, December.
You want to see the plan?
Yeah. That's the deal. You have 4 months. That's it.
Wait, I think I have a little device in my pocket. I think I have a copy of this. Let me see. I sent it to Tucker a while ago, so he's got it.
Did he respond?
I'll send you the plan.
Yeah, we need to get that. Yeah.
Right? Let's learn.
Okay. So that happened. That was recent.
So this was the ideal situation.
Yes.
But unfortunately, they jumped the gun and did this.
Yeah.
Let me zoom it out so you get the whole thing. We talked about bankrupting the private companies.
Yes.
Circumvent the censorship scheme by onboarding people onto Frank Speaks Lindell TV for this first one, Rav, Getter, right? And then go to Truth and Rumble with this one, Spotify with Rogan, the whole Nuremberg. And then we go to this.
And you sent this to Tucker?
Which organizations is that going to be painful for that aren't listed there? Or they are, that are.
I love it, yeah.
All mainstream media
everybody.
feel the pain.
Everybody.
And now they can't manipulate the conversation as much.
Right.
Can they?
That's brilliant. That's brilliant.
That's about it. I got nothing else for you.
That's brilliant.
So
seriously. We will.
So this,
you're going to have to tag me in this or send me.
Steve Bannon, Tucker Carlson, and have a couple people that are trying to get this to Joe Rogan.
That would be incredible. I mean, this is...
Elon.
That's
we
brilliant.
have time for Joe Rogan.
Yeah. Well, because
we want greater audiences as things go. And let's just say RFK's camp and Trump's camp are tracking this.
Yeah.
It's up to them to decide. It's up to them to decide if they want to run with it. I'm just an ideas guy.
Well, I think
if somebody has a better plan,
yeah.
I'm good with it. I'm just here to generate ideas that the execution of this is what, like I said, it's literally 3 people tweeting something out, done. Like how much marketing did it require to say, oh, Trump agreed with Tucker to do an interview?
Yeah. Nothing.
Like 30 seconds.
And look at how, I know, and the views.
300 million views later.
Wow, this is fantastic. Yeah, you're going to have to send me this, and you're going to have to make sure you share this to me or tag me so that I can push it out. I'll push it out on my networks.
We need to activate the share monster.
Yeah.
Is that what you're saying?
Yes. We do. I mean, so I have a friend who has a show, and she calls everybody out there watching digital soldiers.
I gotta ask you this. Who's the biggest, most influential person in your Rolodex that you can think of?
I don't know. It's a little late. I don't know. General Flynn, maybe?
Maybe he's already seen this.
I met Roseanne a little while ago. How about if I get it to Roseanne?
Maybe you can ask Roseanne to say, hey, this might be a good idea.
Roseanne loves my earrings, so, I plan to go hang out with her in a little bit.
Maybe you could recommend this to General Flynn, too.
Yes.
I'll send it to him.
Yeah. Oh, if Flynn has not seen this, we can definitely get this to Flynn in like the next 20 minutes.
No, we're like 5 seconds.
Yeah.
Why not?
We're like 5
Why not say that from your perspective, this is a good plan?
Yeah,
just think about it. If somebody presents you something and you hear it from about 5 to 10 other people.
Yeah, exactly. You're going to listen.
It's a little different than just one person sending it to you, right?
Yep.
What are we waiting on?
Hit share.
Me.
Hit share. Let me give you my number. Hit share.
Oh, wait, but we're live. You'll have to put it in here.
I don't want to put my number on.
Yeah.
No, I'm not doing that. I get too many crazies as it is.
Give me your digits.
Yes.
I think so.
All
I'll type them in. I'm not putting that out in public.
Put your 2 numbers
I got
in
too
here.
many people that are crazy out there.
So General Flynn just came to Iowa and
So
did
that-
an event.
Oh, he did.
Yeah, he did.
So that's pretty much it. I mean,
That's incredible.
you want to say anything to the audience?
This is what we all need to be doing. So come and follow my show so that you can hear people like Ivan who are out there making a difference, who have plans, who have connections, who have solutions. This is what we do. As journalists, this is what we're doing. We're getting the truth and the options out there. We're not just going to call you kooks. We're not just going to call you names. We're actually going to give you a resolution, a plan, and an action. We cannot sit back and do nothing. There's not like 2 or 3 people in the world that can fix this. We all have to take part. Hit share, send it to your influential people. That's fantastic. I love it. I love the plan.
Direct message, share it if you have contacts.
That's right.
But you have to convince yourself that it's good. If you agree that it's a good plan, then obviously you'll share it.
Yeah. Well, I think it's a brilliant plan. I'll be sharing it. I'll put it on my networks. Jake Lang, I hope you're listening. I'm sure he will. When we get it on Blessed News, Jake's got lots of connections too.
So that's
it.
Fantastic.
Done.
That's our interview for now.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Now you got to share this to me so that I can.
Or do you want to go into part 2, real quick?
Okay.
The 3 people that you need to be aware of
Yes.
to basically exonerate everyone downstream from the J6 event that was weaponized against us are Yogananda Pittman, Thomas Manger, and Tad Tobias.
Okay.
Have you ever heard of those people?
No. I maybe am embarrassed to say, but I'll be honest and say no, I haven't.
So if you were arrested and raided between January 8th of 2021 for K6,
it's all because of them.
the acting Capitol Police Chief, Yogananda Pittman, along with the General Counsel, Tad Tobias, were the ones that manipulated the CCTV footage, got U.S. Capitol Police to go ahead and create false impact statements on your criminality, and then manipulated, doctored the CCTV footage and the criminal referral, and then sent it to the DOJ for prosecution.
That's huge, because I've had many of these people on my show sharing their stories who happened to be there. One particular couple, they were in
they
a
thought
prayer
the DOJ
circle.
was doing that.
They were in
it
a
was
prayer
the U.S. Capitol Police Chief, acting Pittman, and the General Counsel that were doctoring all of this. And then so from July 24th until today, if you were arrested, raided, etc., that individual's name is Thomas Manger, which is the current Capitol Police Chief, and the General Counsel, still the same dude, Thomas Tad Tobias.
There you go.
And no one knew this. No one knows this. No one listens to me. But I'm going to keep saying it.
That's crazy. I would like you to come on and do a long form. Will you share this to me, and then we need to do a long form show?
Let's do it. And with that,
this guy's the real deal, guys.
Thank you. Yes. Show over.
Yay! You're awesome.
Appreciate it. That's it.